right, guys, it is the most wonderful time of the year, but it ain't Christmas just yet, so you don't get your boys singing with you. It's the NFL season, and we got football. I'm loving every single week of it. And once again, I've partnered up with the DraftKings Sportsbook to give all new customers a great offer. Bet $5 or more on any game this weekend, and we'll give you $200 in bonus bets instantly. Everybody's an expert at everything. Now you have an opportunity to show it at the DraftKings Sportsbook. And guys, we ain't stopping there. Every week in October, you can take advantage of one of our great offers. So go right now to the DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet $5 or more on any game this weekend, and we'll give you $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you got to do, use my promo code DCTV. Bet $5 or more and get $200 in bonus bets instantly at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Guys, it's easy. DCTV. Bet 5 or more and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Hey, the DraftKings Sportsbook is where it's at. Because you know what? We got a crown. Crown's yours. Let's go. Daniel Cormier! What's up, everybody? We back. I had to plead for him to give us another chance. I'm once again joined by the newly married Terrence Francis. Let's give him a hand. Let's give him a hand. He got a wedding ring now. The lover boy, Terrence Francis. Your friendly neighborhood hater, Daniel Cormier, sitting there. You know what I'm saying? He back to piss people off again. All right, Jamel, how long does Craig need to get on before we actually start?
Craig got to get on for 45 minutes before us, dog. 45 minutes,
dog. Craig, you getting a doctorate.
Hey, listen, bro. I just don't know how to work my wife's computer.
Terry, congratulations, dog, on getting married last weekend. Craig, you were in California to see it. How beautiful was it, Craig?
It was amazing, man. Especially, I mean, who gets married on a beach? I mean, come on.
A rich man.
It's in California, bro. I got to do it. Hey, I appreciate you showing up too, D.
Yeah,
you signed the paperwork. Your name is on my marriage license now, so.
All right, boys. Last week was crazy, right? Now, while I would love to chat with y'all about all the stuff that happened last week, and I've done that with another one of my partners, Ben Askren, time and time again. But I wanted to talk to y'all about something different. One guy that is near and dear to all of you, because you've watched him for a long time, is Izzy Adesanya. Guys, earlier this week, Izzy said, I'm not going to fight for a long time. I'm definitely not going to retire because I know me. I'm not leaving like that. I know me. But if I did, I'm fine. I don't need to prove anything else. I'm going to heal myself up. You will not see me for a long time. I completely agree with this. So I'm asking, as guys that are fans of the sport and people that have watched Izzy Adesanya for a long time, does it make you happy that Izzy's going to step away for a little bit? Terry, let's start with you.
I think it just depends on how long he's planning on stepping away. If he's talking about like a John Jones step away, like 3 years, then I'm not for that at all. If he's talking like 6 months to a year, just to get his body right, just to get his mind right, I'm perfectly fine with that. They can just be, when he comes back, they're going to be evolved to the point where they're going to be ready for him and they'll take him out, dude. 6 months to a year, perfectly fine with that. Anything beyond that, I think he's doing himself a disservice.
But I was happy to see him say he's gonna step away for a little bit. I mean, to be honest, I don't like. He's been a guy that just take any fight, any fighter, any fight, any card. I'm gonna just do it. You know what I mean? And he got away with it. But I had a feeling this last fight, man. It's something just felt different. I was like, I think Strickland would have beat him, like on paper. But going into that fight, I'm like, something just seemed off, man.
You remember the group message? And somebody said, y'all asked me about it. Somebody asked me about the fight. And I said, historically, Izzy handles these. But then one of y'all said to me, I got a bad feeling about this fight. Yeah. I think it was like, I don't know what the feeling came. What did the feeling come from, Jamel? It might have been you.
It was me. I did say, I was like, man, I just got a feeling he's going to lose. Like before the start. I don't know. It's just like the fatigue, whatever else he was dealing with. I think it just finally caught up with him in a bad moment. But you can only do it for so long, man. In any sport, the longer you do it, the higher the chance is the end is coming, you know, in your reign.
Right.
But I think Izzy's a guy that can get it back, man. I just think this break gonna be helpful for him. And whatever time he needs, I think he's so skilled that he gonna be able to come right back in and be just as successful.
So you know what I thought was, I thought the workload was too heavy, Craig. I was like, man, he's been fighting and he's been fighting and he's been fighting. And when you fight that much as the champion, you're fighting against the most dangerous, scariest dude every single time. So where Jamel is right, where he says, at a point, it catches up to you. But you're taking more risk because you're fighting all the best guys. Let me read some of this to you, Craig, before I let you go. Izzy is 24-3 overall, but he's lost 2 of his last 3. He lost to Pereira, and he just lost to Sean Strickland. Izzy has headlined in his last 10 fights, and he's headlined 11 of his last 12 fights. They've all been headline pay-per-views. That is a workload that you cannot expect the man to carry for that period of time and continue to stay ahead of the best fighters in the world. And that is one of the reasons I pointed to. Champ needs a break. Let him have it, Mo.
As someone who's partial to fighters, like, I'm happy to hear that he's really looking out for trying to take a break. But as a fan, I hate to see it. And one of the biggest reasons why I hate to see it as a fan is because he's the biggest active fighter on the roster. What I'm talking about is he's the biggest. He's flashy. You look at his Instagram, he has all these followers. So eyes are tuning in, ears are tuning in. People are tweeting about his fights, whether it's a really good fight or it's a snooze fest. They're checking in for him, and he's active. He's always fighting. So him taking that break, the main thing that I think about when I hear that is, as the champion or as the guy with all the eyes on the sport in that division, every single person on that 185-pound roster is training for Izzy. Even if they're fighting someone else, they're training for Izzy.
You know, the craziest thing to me is, like, there's going to be a section of people that are completely against him taking a break, and I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand how you can expect someone to just fight. And then when you hear something like Izzy got stopped by the police a couple weeks ago, it's like there's a lot of stress in being the champ, bro. And the craziest thing to me is fans don't quite recognize those stresses, and they just want to push. I want you to fight. And Craig, if I'm being completely honest, Craig, you kind of sound like one of those fans because you don't want to see him rest.
That's what I was saying. Like, as a fan, I'm thinking about, wait, if we don't have Izzy, who's gonna step up? Do I want to watch
Strickland?
Do I want to watch Sean Strickland fight as much as I wanted to watch Izzy Adesanya fight? Nah.
But Craig, why not? He beat him.
Oh, you want my opinion on that?
Oh, I want your opinion. He
actually
just beat Izzy Adesanya. Why would it not have the cachet or the intrigue that brings you to watch Sean Strickland now? Daniel, I mean, Jamel, I see you over there making faces. I don't understand.
He beat Izzy, but he did the whole Philly, like, what do they call that lace? Like,
but the Philly shell, right? But that's what I think that's what gave Izzy problems, bro. It's like the constant pressure in that stance, that Philly shell stance gave him issues.
But why didn't Izzy kick him? He's in the boxing stance.
Because he just took that space away from him. He just pressured him, bro. Like, he had Izzy moving backwards the entire time, bro. I just watched that fight earlier today, and it's like he had very little space to work. So it's just the pressure. And I was like, for Izzy, like, Izzy did what Izzy does. This dude is just pressure. And all he had to do is just on his back foot the whole time, just moving away. And it's just like he just couldn't, that pressure. Like, you and Kane used to fight that way.
Yeah. But do you think that it was some fatigue, Jamel? Like, the fact that he had been fighting so much, not only physical fatigue, but just mental fatigue. Like, I can't get up for this one. And here's the problem. It's hard to do this because then it feels like you're taking something from Sean Strickland when I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
But could it have been fatigue? Like, not only physical fatigue, but mental fatigue.
But I got a question for Terry. T, you saying that style makes fights. Do you think if Izzy had the time to prepare for that fight, it would look the same?
I think so. Like, you can't tell me that he's not familiar with Sean Strickland. It's not like Sean Strickland came out of nowhere. Izzy
but who
knows.
is Izzy's not training for him?
He
Izzy's
fought
not.
him.
I mean,
It
where
wasn't
do
a
you
short
get that?
notice fight.
I kind of feel honestly that the short notice was worse for Strickland. He
That's
had
what
no
I think,
time,
too.
Jamel, for his first title fight.
But he's trained for that style of fighting before.
Sean Strickland's style is not so unique that Izzy hasn't
Exactly.
seen that, especially
Who
as
else
a
is doing-
kickboxer, Jamel.
Who else is doing it?
Jamel, but he's fought in kickboxing and glory all his life. He has seen
And they don't fight like that in kickboxing.
Jamel, Sean Strickland checked every kick. And like Lace said, he had him on his heels. And I think that's where Izzy struggled. But the thing here's what really confused me was that Izzy's a great counter striker, but he couldn't get counters off on Sean Strickland for some reason.
I think it was a perfect night, perfect time. I think it was just the lining was in Sean Strickland's side. If they fight again, I don't even know who wins that fight. You know what I mean? Because the style did give Izzy a problem. But I think if Izzy has proper time to train and not just taking fight after fight, on dealing with not even just fight stuff, dealing with everything else. You know what I mean? That clouds everything in training. You get better in a room of training.
So essentially, every champion is at a bit of a disadvantage because they're constantly fighting the best guys in the world. And plus, Izzy had the belt for so long. He's been a champ since he was 1 year into his UFC career.
Yeah.
Like Craig said, everybody's training for you, right? Like, so I get that aspect of what he's saying about Strickland, but Strickland's been around enough to where you can't tell me Izzy's not familiar with the potential challengers. Like, he knew who this guy was.
But it's different watching somebody and then going train for somebody. It's so different bringing those guys in the gym to try to mimic Sean Strickland than just watching it. We can watch anybody fight. But going train for that is different.
That's part of the training. So who else, like, if he's a unique fighter as far as his style, who is Izzy gonna bring in? Is he gonna bring a boxer that fights in the Philly Shell in the next training?
When he's gonna bring it in, he didn't have time. That's my point. You now making my point.
It was like 4 weeks almost.
You now making my point that if he has proper time, then I think it would be a different fight.
We are never gonna see that Philly Shell defense go out in an MMA fight again, because once we find a wrestler that knows how to get up into that, it's
single leg. You could single leg the Philly Shell because they turn sideways, but Izzy
and
don't
that's what I said.
Hey, next time that championship fight is on, you're gonna see it again.
I agree with the champ stepping away for a little bit. I do. I think Izzy needs to rest his mind, rest his body, because he doesn't just live a champion's life. He lives a big champion's life. I mean, he's with Drake. He's with Mark Zuckerberg. He's like, Izzy is literally a celebrity in fighting.
The ego brought him back into championship fight. But I think Izzy has a strong mind. Who else can crump the whole way to the cage, dog, and still go win, dog?
Like
Izzy,
and he went lose.
You got served all the way to the cage.
That's why he beat Robert Whitaker, because Rob was like, "Is this man really doing the?"
You got served, bro, the whole way.
Like Rob sitting in the ring, like, bro, how I'm gonna beat this dude? This dude just front flip.
I'm not betting against that. If you can crump before you fight, I'm not betting against you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
I hope he comes back stronger, bro.
I do too. I love Izzy, man.
I hope he comes back stronger.
I think that you guys, it's very evident, Jamel, that you love Izzy. It's very evident.
You ain't getting me to throw Izzy, dog. If you can, I have never seen nobody crump, dog, and go win a fight.
But that's why I don't want him to go away too long either, though, because we need that. We need that type of energy in the sport too, bro. Like,
I think what we decided is that we are all Izzy fans and love the champ, but agree that he probably needs some time away. Terry, also, man, I want to make sure that we recognize you got that T. Ferguson shirt on. Like, so, hey, Tony Ferguson got some love out here. Terry from Orange County. Tony Ferguson from Orange County. So he repping, right, T?
Yeah, I got him, bro. I got him.
El Kakui repping.
You gotta stand up to the bully Jamel, bro. Like, and let him just keep beating on Tony, bro.
It's so crazy how Jamel could go from just being like that with Tony Ferguson, just the biggest Izzy sympathizer I've ever seen in my life.
If Tony Ferguson crump before his next fight, bro, I change my stance.
The one thing Tony got is that fire walkouts of That he had dun, dun,
You got it before you dancing before Izzy, bro.
he got sideways when he go. And he got like,
hey, and low key, if he not in fight mode, he be having them like break dancing like gloves on.
oh
I
my
think
God.
Izzy
What
might have
about,
stolen his
what
swag.
about when he had that baseball at the press conference? Remember he was carrying that baseball for a while? I was like, yo, that's that guy right there.
And
That's what
nobody
he
more
was
dynamic than Tony, bro.
That was like Buki. When Buki was in the hood doing karate.
Oh, yeah.
With a
You're like,
baseball, son. You're
Like,
not
there's no
messing
way
with
this
that
dude can
dude.
actually fight.
Y'all remember
But then he can fight.
Buki? Buki used to do all kind of karate. And I gotta tell you something, if I'm being completely honest. Now that I know how to fight, I don't think Buki knew shit. Buki just had everybody scared of him, acting like he knew karate, dog.
Lafayette is littered with people with that.
They got a lot of them, bro.
Oh,
They got
yeah,
a lot
the
of them,
big
bro.
karate. A lot of black belts, bro.
I know.
Oh man.
But
Y'all remember my
Daniel
costume?
Son,
Hey, you remember my costume for Halloween?
fucking
Remember my
third grade
karate kid costume?
bro. The
Oh,
karate kid.
bro.
Your mama made a gi, bro. Like, I ain't never been.
They put a robe on them too.
That boy had that, bro.
Hey, bro, this shit
With a
put
belt
Daniel
on,
on the back of my shirt, man. How you put Daniel on the back of my shirt, man?
Hey,
That was bad.
Daniel
And
had
it
an
wasn't a
actual black
bonsai
belt
tree.
on.
That wasn't no bonsai tree either, bruh.
That's the
I had an
first-
actual what links?
You had an actual black belt on, a leather belt. This is your black belt. That's not a belt. That's a regular belt.
Hey, stop playing my nanny, bruh.
Oh,
Leather,
bro.
huh, T. T, there was
You know
leather
I'm not
T.
I can't attack my belt. Oh my god, I remember that. He was Daniel's son for Halloween.
They get that felt paper and cut them eyes out.
Oh my
Bruh,
god. Hey, that
the worst,
that
dog. They
Ninja
ain't the
Turtle
worst.
and
They actually used to make us go out and it wasn't even Halloween, bro. We just, cutting out them cardboard boxes for the WWE titles.
oh my
And then the
Bro,
Ninja
you wanna hear
Turtles
something?
around, bro? Come on, man.
You want to hear something worse than that?
what?
Bro, one year I had no costume, but I had broke my arm that year, right?
Uh-huh.
My mama made me wear my sling, and they paint red around my eye and gave me a Walmart bag, dog. I had a Walmart bag going trick or treat.
What you want?
It was my costume, dog. Like I got beat up.
Victim.
Like,
That's all.
dog, the block is crazy.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
the block is crazy. Hey, fellas, listen. Later, because we're supposed to do this tonight, but it's too long now. So later, what we're gonna do is we're gonna revisit some of the fights, right? Where we're gonna revisit some of the builds to the fight, where some of you guys were in training camp. We're gonna revisit some of the weight cuts for the fights. We're gonna revisit some of the nights leading into the fight, your guys' emotions while I was in the fights, and the relief after the fights. We're gonna do that with video that I have in my archives for us to kind of relive those situations. But tonight we went a little long on the Izzy conversation. And you know what? I'm okay with it. All right, guys. Until next time, like, subscribe, and tell your friend to tell a friend that DC's got a YouTube channel. And I'm dropping nothing but fire content. And this week, we got check-ins, baby, with Mahachel, Volkanovski, Usman, and Chimaev as your boy heads across the world for UFC 294. I'm on the plane tonight, baby. Next time I see y'all, I'm over in the desert. UFC 294 goes down this weekend, and I cannot wait. Till next time, guys, peace.